is it like when the narcissist in your life is family? Recently, one of my listeners returned after a time away. She bravely shared that she's been in probate court facing off against a narcissistic sibling. And I remembered that I had promised her and others that I would come back to this topic of family narcissism. So today we're doing just that. We're talking about something I know many of you are facing. What happens when the narcissist is a parent or a sibling? Narcissistic abuse within families carries its own kind of weight. It can feel invisible, dismissive, and sometimes normal, because the very people who should have protected you were the ones who manipulated, belittled, or controlled you. The emotional trauma is the same. The devastation is real, but the dynamics, especially when it's someone you shared blood with, can be far more complicated. Let's start with narcissistic parents. Maybe you grew up with one. Maybe you're still living under their roof. Or maybe you've gone low or no contact, but still feel the guilt and pull of obligation. Narcissistic parents often disguise control as concern. They may not come out and say directly, I want to control you, but somehow what they think is best for you always centers on their comfort, their image, and their need to be right. They may guilt you for setting boundaries, sabotage your independence by undermining your confidence or financial security. Likely, they try to keep you small so they can feel large. And when you try to step away, they don't reflect, they retaliate. You're not seen as brave or self-preserving. You are cast as the ungrateful child. And that's what makes healing from this so hard, because it's not just grief, it's grief without acknowledgement. It's a parent-child bond that asks for obedience, not authenticity. And when you choose your truth, you're made to feel like the betrayer. But here's the truth. You're not ungrateful and you're not selfish. You're someone finally choosing peace. And if you're still in contact or still living under the same roof as the narcissistic parent, maybe not by choice, but by circumstance, your strategies may need to honor both survival and self-respect. It might mean resisting to defend yourself when they distort the truth, and focus your energy on strengthening your inner foundation, your emotional clarity, and your boundaries, and your long-term vision. You're not failing if you haven't gone no contact, because sometimes the first act of freedom is very quiet. If you refuse to let them rewrite your story in your mind, you're making progress. Freedom grows from the inside out. And every moment you choose self-respect over self-doubt, you're stepping out of the role they assigned and into who you truly are. Then they're the narcissistic siblings, the ones who compete when you're not competing, who triangulate behind closed doors, spread rumors with a smile, or they just rewrite the family story to cast them as a hero and you as a problem. They may have the parents on their side or twist the narrative so that even well-meaning outsiders begin to question what you're saying is true. And one of the most painful parts is they share your history. They know what you've been through. But instead of using that shared experience to bond, they use it to wound. They weaponize your past. They mock your healing. So what can you do? Regardless of the role, whether it's parent, sibling, or both, you can begin by setting boundaries that protect your peace. even if those boundaries are dismissed or ignored. Boundaries are not about changing the narcissist. They are about honoring you. Limit contact if you need to, or go no contact if you must. Not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. Avoid confrontations that only fuel their story, where you're cast as the irrational one, the angry one, the difficult one. And maybe hardest of all, let go of the hope that one day they're just going to wake up, look you in the eye, and finally understand what they've been doing to you. That hope is heavy, and you were never meant to carry it alone. You deserve freedom, even from family, especially from family who harm you and then call it love. Healing begins when you stop reaching for their approval and start reaching inward for truth, for safety and wholeness. This may not have been Annie's exact story, but for many of you, it is. You are Annie when the narcissist is a family member. You are Annie when you're walking away from the role they gave you, when you're rebuilding your identity. And for those of you who stand with us in solidarity, even if it's not your experience, I see you too. When you say, I am Annie, you're standing beside every survivor. You are shining a light on narcissistic abuse. You're helping build a community rooted in clarity, courage, and healing. And I want to invite you now, if this message resonates with you, consider saying these 3 words in the comments, I am Annie. And if you're standing in support of someone who's walked this path, say it too, because together those 3 words are no longer a whisper. They are becoming a movement. To those of you dealing with narcissistic family members, I hope today helped you feel seen. If you feel moved, I invite you to comment, I am Annie, in solidarity with every man, every woman rebuilding their truth on account of narcissistic abuse. Every time I see those words, it reminds me what we're doing here truly matters. We are not just sharing stories, we're building something, a community of clarity, compassion, and truth-telling. And I see that in your comments, in the strength of your voices, and in the quiet camaraderie we're forming together. And for those of you who are new to this podcast, I'm Kyle Hackley, attorney and author of Undercurrent, a story about a woman named Annie who finds the courage to break free from a narcissistic marriage and the extraordinary life waiting on the other side. Annie isn't just one person. Annie is any man or woman who has ever experienced narcissistic abuse. And as always, I want you to know that you are stronger than you ever believed. And I want you to be tenacious and never give up on what's important to you. And to everyone here, thank you. Thank you for listening, for showing up, and for building this beautiful, strong, truth-telling community. We'll keep growing, we'll keep healing, and yes, we're going to be okay. I appreciate you. Until next time, please take good care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.